Now, of the Tory MP, Sibylle Cash, who chairs the European Scrutiny Committee and is also chairman and founder of the European Foundation think tank. Welcome.
Hello.
To you.
Yes.
Do you agree with Bob Neal that it'd be a good idea to have a proper debate on this?
Oh, I'm all in favour of debates, and I'm hoping I'll take part in the one on Thursday myself. But the fact is that I don't agree with what Bob has said on the fundamental questions here for a number of reasons, not least of which is the fact that as regards the Northern Ireland issue, for example, I mean, John Thompson, who's the head of the HMRC, has made it clear that the border issue does not require infrastructure. And in regard to the
well, that's not the Swiss solution, you see. and you know, I was reading yesterday a supporter of leaving the customs union saying, well, why don't we do it just like Switzerland? And it's absolutely true that there is infrastructure in Switzerland, and that the head of the police service in Northern Ireland has said if there is, he thinks that will be a target for sectarian attacks. I
know that is an argument that is deployed, but I have to say that I don't really put a great deal of credibility on the fact that the whole of this issue is going to turn into a conflagration. I was talking to the senior Irish parliamentarians only 2 weeks ago, and they were very keen to get a negotiated settlement to this. I'm afraid that what's really happening is the EU is using this, as Theresa May has made clear and as we've made clear, to try to create a problem which really doesn't need to exist in the way in which it's being presented. It's a constitutional issue as well as a trading question.
No, absolutely. But how do you have two countries in different trading blocs without a border between them? I mean, it's not done anywhere in the world. It's not done between Norway and Sweden.
But there is a way of negotiating it on the basis of what, for example, Bertie Ahern said, which is that you turn a blind eye to some of the small trading. That is a perfectly reasonable... Well, it's what he said. He was the Taoiseach.
No, but hang on. But you are a legislator.
Yes, of
you
course.
believe in law and order, and
yes.
you're saying we're going to have laws and we're going to ignore them. No, that's what turning a blind eye means.
Well, I'm saying in a nutshell that there has to be some degree of common sense inserted into this. And in fact, as you probably know, in relation to the Northern Ireland economy, 80% is in Northern Ireland or in Great Britain, whereas only about 5% is actually in relation to between North and South. So we are talking about something which is more than capable of being negotiated. The negotiations are still going on now, and this motion that they're discussing on Thursday, because this is the debate, is primarily about the Northern Ireland issue, when you really come down to it. There is also the question of Lord Kerr's amendment in the House of Lords.
I do want to ask you one question, though, away from Northern Ireland, which is outside the customs union. Can you give me a single example so far of a country which has said, we're going to offer you a better deal than what you've got already on trade as a member of the European Union?
Look, if you look at what Juliet Bishop said from New Zealand, if you look at the Australians, if you look at the Singapore Foreign Minister, all of whom spoke last week, and many others, during the Commonwealth Conference, the bottom line is, and the United States itself with President Trump, they're all saying that they want us to have proper good trading relations.
Not,
and by the way,
not necessarily better.
Well, better is an evaluation. You can't actually... And I'm saying that the opportunity...
But it's the argument of a lot of Brexiteers. We can do better around the world.
Well, I think we can. If 90%, as the IMF have said, of all trade in the whole of the world is going to be outside the European Union in the future...
Is, as yet, you can't name a single country.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are hosts of countries who are saying that they want to do trade deals with us, and frankly, they are all going to improve our surplus, which is already going up in relation to the rest of the world to 37 billion. It went up by, I think, 10 billion last year alone, whereas our trade deficit with the EU and the single market is running at 82 billion pounds a year. So we have enormous opportunities in relation to trading both with the EU, which we'll do under the Comprehensive Trade Agreement, but also in the rest of the world, which is where the future really lies. That is the key issue, and we can't get that trading with the rest of the world if we're in any real form of customs partnership or customs union. It doesn't work, and the European Communities Act 1972 makes that completely clear, and dear old John Kerr got it completely wrong in the House of Lords last week when he was trying to argue that nobody had actually said during the course of the campaign that we were going to have to take a completely different position on the customs union. The bottom line is that we are leaving the European Communities Act, that's the referendum result, and the laws that are made by the European Union behind closed doors, including the trading arrangements, are a travesty of our democratic system.
Okay. All right. Sir Bill Cash, thank you very much, Steve, for joining us.
Thank you.